GPT-Image 2 kinda sucks. Not at everything, okay? It does beat Nanobanana in 1 or 2 areas, but I generated dozens of images across 6 major tests to show you the real results from this model. First, we'll test cinematic image rendering and censorship, followed by product design, text fidelity, IP censorship, and identity consistency. I'll be putting GPT-Image 2 head-to-head with Nanobanana 2 and Nanobanana Pro with today's sponsor, Topview. Topview AI has all of the best image and video models in one place, and they've just launched a new storyboard feature where you can generate multi-shot storyboards and animate those into full shot-for-shot videos with Seedance 2.0. It's really sweet, only takes 2 clicks, and I'll show you how that works too. Now, without further ado, let's get into the tests. We're starting out with this complex prompt for a close-up image of a pirate swinging from a rope. Let's start with the results that we got from Nanobanana Pro. I mean, it's Nanobanana Pro. This is incredible. The only thing that I think looks maybe a little odd is the sea foam or like salt spray on the pirate here, and there's no other pirates on the deck of the ship, but otherwise, this is, I mean, it's kind of perfect. Nanobanana 2, on the other hand, is a massive downgrade. I mean, I've had problems with lighting from Nanobanana 2 in the past, and this is particularly egregious. It's just way too high contrast and looks super fake. Also, note that I asked for soft haze and diffusion in the prompt, and this image is just very contrary to that. It's very harsh. We do get more pirates on the ship though. Now for the super hyped ChatGPT Image 2. This looks pretty decent initially, right? Better than Nanobanana 2 at least? Well, maybe in some ways, but look closer. This image looks more real in my opinion than Nanobanana 2, but it's extremely over-sharpened. There's just way too much texture to everything here. But that's honestly the least of the problems. This back arm looks really weird to me. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's just bending in a weird way. And his hand gripping the sword is all messed up. I mean, I haven't seen problems with AI hands in probably like a year. The focus rendering is strange here too. If you look at the shape of the bokeh or the blur on the background, everything looks a little bit messy and artifacted. There's also this strange halo effect on the out of focus areas. You can kind of see it right here under his arm along the edge of the sleeve, and it's also really obvious on his hand holding the rope. It's almost like ghosting or something. Really odd. Now, I didn't just stop at one generation. I tested all of these image models 2 extra times while tweaking the prompt a little bit in between to try to see if there was consistency. And I noticed the same problematic over-sharpening, hand rendering, and ghosting every time with GPT, to varying degrees. Nanobanana 2 also looked like crap in the same way every time, and Pro did honestly really well every time. I'm not gonna break down every one of these extra generations in detail because that would get super boring, but feel free to go back and pause and check them out, analyze them for yourself, and let me know if you notice anything down in the comments. Now that we've got a baseline for the cinematic image rendering of these models, I wanted to test them out for censorship, so I generated this prompt of a bank heist. We've got some serious censorship triggering things in here. This is a violent and illegal scene, and a dude is firing a gun. But surprisingly, all of the models, all 3 of them, gave me results. And the story here is actually pretty similar. I'm gonna show you the 3 images, and I want you to guess which one was created by each model. Here's image 1, now image 2, and finally image 3. Well, if you said GPT Image 2 was the first image that I showed, you were correct. It looks cool, but it's over-sharpened again, and it almost looks drawn. We've also got some weird warping down here with the bystanders, and also in the back over here. The second image is Nanobanana 2. Overall, really solid. The people in the background still look a little bit odd, and the small text and some of the logic of this Wall Street sign is a bit off, but overall, this is pretty solid. Nanobanana Pro did image number 3, and honestly, this is just another example of the lighting rendering on Pro blowing everything else out of the water. It captures the motion blur really well too. I think it's settled that Nanobanana Pro is still the king of cinematic images, but what if you want more than just one individual frame? Topview has a new storyboard tool where you can use Nanobanana Pro, Nanobanana 2, or GPT Image 2 to create full storyboards with a single image prompt. You can choose 4, 9, or 25 individual frames in the image, or enter a custom number. I want a 4x4 grid of a scene of pirates burying some treasure, so I put in 16 as my image number. I'll add my prompt, and just like that, it planned out the entire sequence for us. Now, if this all looks good, I'll just hit generate video, and I can use Seedance 2.0 to create a faithful video off of that storyboard. I did the same thing with my bank robbery scene and got this storyboard, which I animated into this video. This is a super cool feature, I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it can even be used for product videos. But first we need a good product photo, right? So let's test out GPT-Image 2 for that. Here I've got a prompt for a Mexican salsa product image. Again, I put it through all 3 models, so let's check out our results. This is Nanobanana 2, and honestly, it looks really good. My only nitpick is that this little text at the end of the arch just kind of looks wrong. I could be mistaken, so let me know if this is like some sort of Mexican symbol or like abbreviation that I'm unaware of, but I think that this just it's screwed up. The only other problem is that the lighting and the color looks a little bit flat, which gets solved with Nano Banana Pro. Except the product design on this one really sucks. The lighting is nice though, and the background blur and focus rendering is near perfect, which is something that's important to note again, because look at GPT-Image 2's result. This image with the branding, text rendering, and colors is by far my favorite. It's one of those things that you look at in comparison even to Nanobanana 2, and like for some reason, I don't know why, but I just like this one way better. The problem with the GPT image though is twofold, or really threefold. One, it looks like there's just a little text issue right here on this green stamp on the side. It's really kind of hard to tell though, so I'd give it a pass. Number 2, these jalapenos just kind of look weird for some reason. They're like smushed or something. Just kind of look all distorted. And number 3, while the lighting looks good, we've got the return of the dreaded focus ghosting here around the mortar and pestle, and the background blur just looks unnatural compared to Nanobanana. Still, I gotta give the win to GPT-Image here. This is my favorite. I would just love to see that focusing problem get sorted out. Additionally, I wanted to try a lifestyle shoot for an existing brand. This will kind of test the model's ability to draw references from the internet and also their censorship of existing IPs. This is my prompt of a Kool-Aid product image, and the results were pretty interesting. Nano Banana Pro, of course, had the best lighting. Straight up, this is the best out of all of them. It's better than the next 2, and it understood the Kool-Aid brand really well. However, the text is just a mess. Nanobanana 2 did a little bit better on the small text, but it's still got some major issues going on as a whole, and the lighting of the image, of course, looks worse. Which brings us to GPT-Image 2 with the worst lighting and background bokeh of all of the generations, and an overall over-sharpened look, but the text rendering is near perfect, if not absolutely perfect. You just have to look past the fact that these pink lemon designs behind the logo are really odd and inaccurate. So yeah, GPT-Image 2 is the king hands down for text rendering, but it struggles a lot with lighting and depth, which makes me think it's actually going to do really well with our next prompt, an infographic about how to make kettle corn. The point of this prompt is to test whether the model can actually properly source information from the web and make a good looking infographic from a short and kind of vague text prompt like this. Number 1, we've got Nanobanana 2. This looks good all around, but it really just has that Nanobanana feel. Like, it's totally valid information. All of the text looks good, and I think it centered it on the page because I mentioned that I wanted it for a small like shop handout. So the model was like, oh, you should make this like vertical letter paper dimensions, which I'll give it a pass on. Now, Nanobanana Pro, it kind of struggled with this prompt. Honestly, it didn't give us an actual ingredients list at the beginning. I asked for bright colors, which this is not, and just, yeah, it's kind of boring all around. GPT-Image 2, on the other hand, knocked this out of the park. It's got great step-by-step instructions, really nice graphic designs, and a super fun, unique style with bright colors. This is my favorite hands down, even if there's like a little bit too much oil in this pot. Okay, enough testing this model on its strengths. We need to get back to the use cases that I actually personally care about: IP censorship and facial consistency. For IP censorship, I gave this model a really simple prompt: Darth Vader in a pro arm wrestling match with Gandalf. Nanobanana Pro blocked this due to IP restrictions, but oddly, Nanobanana 2 gave me this image. You would think both models from Google would work on the same restrictions and the same censorship rules, but I guess not. Now, I'm not gonna go too in-depth tearing this image apart piece by piece. I think it's just kind of a fun AI image, and it's got a lot of cool details, and clearly the characters look perfect. GPT-Image 2 also gave me a result, and this one looks okay. I mean, obviously it's over sharpened to high heck like usual, but the nerd in me is just really disappointed because Darth Vader's armor looks odd. There's just too many like armor plates to it. The helmet looks good, but the rest overall is just like, it's just slightly off. And the same goes for Gandalf. Like, his face looks fine, but his robes like have this kind of added detailing to them, which is cool, but they're not accurate to the character. Nanobanana 2 is therefore more accurate, and I've got to give this win to Nanobanana. Finally, face swapping. For my thumbnails, like the one that I used in this video, I like to create AI images of myself. Now, these are never perfectly accurate, but some models do better than others. So to test out this capability, I picked my favorite pirate image, the one created by Nanobanana Pro, and I asked each model to replace the pirate with my face using this prompt. GPT-Image 2 didn't really do it at all. Given 3 attempts, they all kinda sucked, and it almost looks like it didn't even try. Nanobanana 2 did a little bit better, but again, given 3 attempts, it still didn't get there. I will give it credit though, if I wanted to have a beard, this image actually looks really good. It just couldn't render me, like my face, clean shaven over the guy with the beard. Nanobanana Pro, on the other hand, was really solid. This image still has a bit of beard, the lighting on this image is a bit off, and the lighting looks great in this one, but my face looks a little worse. But overall, these are definitely the best results, and Pro is still obviously the king of face swapping. That said, face swapping is not the best way to get consistent results with a consistent character. So instead, I wanted to generate this image from scratch, just using my headshot as a facial identity reference for the pirate character. Given the results of the last test, I just decided to use GPT-Image 2 and Nanobanana Pro to see which of those two would be better. This is result number 1 from Nanobanana Pro. And dude, this looks freaking awesome. It doesn't look perfectly like me, but everything is blended so well. It's a great image. And here's result number 1 from GPT-Image 2. Yeah, this kind of sucks. I mean, an argument can be made that it actually maintained my true image a little bit better than Nanobanana, but it just kind of spliced my headshot onto the image, didn't really like blend it properly with the scene, and I mean, the rest of the image is just kind of looks terrible, like usual. The same goes with GPT-Image 2's second generation. I mean, it's me, like clearly that's me, but somehow it still looks just bad and lifeless. Finally, here's Nanobanana Pro's second generation of the image. And I mean, it's just night and day, guys, come on. Nanobanana is still king. So in the end, I think everybody is way overhyping GPT-2. This is not a Nanobanana killer by any means, but it is better at rendering text. So hopefully when Nanobanana Pro 2 comes out, we're gonna have some improvements on that front from Google as well. But until then, Topview has all of the best, including Nanobanana Pro, Nanobanana 2, and GPT-Image 2. You can check them out down in the description. That said, if you haven't seen my most recent video about Seedance 2.0, the video model king, you should check out this one right up over here. I put it through all these same sort of like tests, but they're tailored to videos, so you can see whether it's actually the best or whether like Kling is better.